Alright folks, welcome to another beer review, and we're going back to one of my favourite breweries, and this is a beer from Bullhouse in Belfast, and this is a collaboration between themselves with Out of Office, who are a brew pub also in Belfast, and then Vine Street, who are out of Kansas if I remember correctly. And this is a can of 2 ships in the night, which on the can itself it says light beer, but it is a cream ale. So I've not had a cream ale for a long time, to be honest. I think the likes of, Anchor, although that was like a steam ale. Was that classed as a cream ale? I'm actually really unfamiliar with the semantics of the cream ale itself, but yeah, really quite intrigued to give this a try. Massive fan of Bullhouse. One of my favourite, I'm sure they've been going for a little while now, but one of my favourite recent sort of discoveries for me personally. Didn't really get to drink much of their stuff when I was in Belfast last year. I got the odd can from a couple of the places that we went to, but I did have a couple of beers on tap from Out of Office, and maybe a can or so here and there in between, like the Guinness, the Murphy's, and the Beamish. But yeah, what a city Belfast is, by the way. Already been to Dublin, but that was quite a long time ago, and not to cause any sort of to take any sort of to side with anyone here. When you're talking about stuff like this, you've got to tread so carefully on how you word it. Even making a comment like that is towing the line. But there's no sort of joke or offence meant there. But after visiting Dublin and Belfast, I personally enjoyed Belfast a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, it's still a very touristy part of Ireland. But yeah, I just felt the vibe was just a bit more. I'm not to say Dublin's fake, because I went to some fantastic pubs when I was in Dublin, traditional pubs. You don't worry about Temple Bar. That's nothing to do really with for me. You go to the back alley pub in Dublin if you want to drink, but please do go to the Guinness experience, because that was just fantastic. But I think for me and my tastes, I enjoyed Belfast a bit more. Beautiful city, great people, great atmosphere, absolutely thriving, and had an absolutely fantastic Ulster fry. So yeah, go to both places, because they're both beautiful cities in their own right. And funny enough, at work I had a customer on the phone talking about a little village that she lives in outside of Belfast, and I was looking at photos of it while I was on the phone with her, and I was I need to go there. And you know what, it's a relatively quick plane ride, inexpensive to travel there. So yeah, maybe some both Republic and Northern Ireland adventures to come. I think I don't practice what I preach. I've not really been away this year so far. Oh, woe is me. Although I had planned to by now at least gone to about 3 or 4 different places in and around Europe. But just work and things like that just didn't come into fruition. Although I will be going to Naples at some point this year. and I want to throw in another, maybe slightly more extended than the last time, trip to Berlin, because I felt truly at home in Berlin. And it's nothing to do with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. But anyway, we'll move swiftly on. But yeah, Belfast, Dublin, fantastic place, beautiful people. Fantastic place, beautiful people, great people. Anyway, chef's kiss. But I personally just enjoyed Belfast that little bit more. Anyway, should we shut up and look at the beer? Yeah, golden, clear. I think cream ale, although an ale, you can brew it with like a lager yeast. I'm not too sure specifically of what went into this. From the very sort of like brief look at Untappd, I think the ethos behind this was all three parties involved are really active when it comes to bringing people together. And yeah, it's just really quite refreshing to see breweries like this come together, especially with the geography involved. They're not making like a stupid sour imperial stout or an absolute juice bomb. They're making a cream ale, and that's what drew me to it. But yeah, really nice. Head dissipated. You didn't really, I don't think you saw it when I poured it because it was off camera. Dissipated really quickly. So let's see what we get on the nose. Ooh, it's got that sort of like muskiness that you would tend to get from like a lager yeast, maybe. There's definitely like a damp wheat, slight bubblegum aroma coming through for me. Almost has a bit like of a funkiness to it. But I think that's part of like the specific fermentation process in the style. You read a little bit about cream ales on Untappd. Didn't remember most of it, but he's trying to make himself look like he knows what he's talking about. That gag doesn't work because I don't have a second camera set up there. Anyway, we'll move swiftly on. But yeah, it's a bit funky. There's a little bit of a peach character coming through as well. Certainly intriguing. Almost smells like a farmhouse ale. Anyway, intriguing. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, everyone. The flavour doesn't really tend to linger. Like sort of, you get the beer in your mouth, bursts of flavour, and then just the beer. Like it's almost like a skip. The crisp, it just dissolves on your tongue. Although if a skip is going to dissolve on your tongue straight away, there may be some sort of chemical imbalance in your body if it's going to disintegrate that quickly off your tongue. But hey ho, I'm not a doctor. It's really intriguing. It's got a slight passion fruit-esque tang to it. I'm getting peaches and cream, or like a peach child's yogurt, a child's peach yogurt. A little bit of bitterness there. Sweetness also. It's like you could, I don't know why, but it's like you could distill this and make sort of like a really nice liqueur from some of the flavours coming out in this one. Very light bodied. But yeah, I'm getting loads of peach. Peach yogurt. I don't think there's any lactose in this, but it's got that sort of like lactic character to it. Maybe, what the fuck is that? Maybe why is my glass dirty? It's out of the cabinet. Is this just coming off my mouth? Have I got a scabby mouth? Or is it just unfortunately dirty glass? I think if I was more familiar with the style, I'll be able to give you a much more sort of like objective angled review. Don't know why I'm instantly getting the sensation of drinking a Mikkeller beer. Don't ask me why. It's intriguing and it's got a nice taste. But what I will say is, I don't necessarily think this is something that I would gravitate to very often. But I am very intrigued by this. And you know what? It's a transatlantic collaboration that isn't just a hazy IPA. And I really, really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. It's a risk, as I'd imagine, especially financially for all parties involved. I don't know whether they visited the brewery in Bullhouse, what they called. I don't know if Vine Street flew to Belfast to brew this, or if it was sort of like, because you do sometimes see like an online sort of collaboration. But if they have flown all the way to Belfast, I'd imagine there was a bigger thing. They were going around multiple places, not just to go there. But yeah, it's very expensive to fly from that side of the world to the other. And then to brew something like a cream ale, I really, really dig that. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if I could do like another can of this, because it is quite, it's almost a little bit sickly. But I know people who would drink that and they'd fall head over heels with it, and that's the beauty of it. I don't like people giving bad reviews on beer styles that they don't enjoy. Also, I don't really like people going completely overboard for a review just because it's a beer style that they do enjoy. But then again, it's your prerogative, it's your palate, it's your views. You look at a beer how you want to. If you think it's the best thing since sliced bread, that's amazing. Because there's something really soul affirming. I know your life can be affirmed, but can your soul be affirmed? When, as a person who likes to drink beer, how do you phrase this conversation without sound like an alcoholic? But there's really, when you have that beer that just does it for you, there's no other feeling like it. There is another feeling like it, but I've not had that sensation for way too long. COVID's got a lot to answer for. It's got nothing to do with COVID. We'll move swiftly on. Anyway, but yeah, it's a nice beer. It's something different. I don't fully know the ins and outs of a cream ale. It does have it's light, but I see what they're saying with cream, because I got that yogurty, almost lactic thing about it. Whether or not there's actually any lactose in there at all, I don't know. Maybe it's just the byproduct of the fermentation process. So I think there's much more sophisticated palates who could give you a much better and concise review of this beer. Would I go out of my way to get it again? No, not really. But I'm glad to have had another beer from out of office, and I'm always happy to get an international brewery on my radar. So I'd be intrigued to try more Vine Street if their beers. I mean, I don't even know if they sort of like bottle or can their beers for distribution, or if it's brew pub specific situation where you have to go to the venue. But yeah, interesting. It is very light, but it's also, in a weird ways, it's very, very sickly. So intriguing is what I'm going to finish this review on. But yeah, another beer from Bullhouse. Another beer from Out of Office, although I don't think I've actually reviewed one. And then another beer, and the first beer from Vine Street. So a three-way collaboration. And that's what it's all about, really. So if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. What are some of your favourite breweries from any of the breweries involved? Links to each one and their socials should hopefully be in the description. And yeah, thank you all for watching. You take care, stay safe, and I shall see you all later. Bye.